Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dot to Dot. Today, I'm going to show you two facts about the documents, the Zena Halpern documents that I have been working with and my team. And these documents, okay, are important because if they are relevant, which I believe they are, and they are valid to the mystery of Oak Island, which I believe they are, facts that we can get that show them tying together Oak Island and each other, more relevant they become. And hopefully, the attention those who are searching for the treasure may come and do something with this information. However, let's get into this. If you watched my last video, I did a video about the 522, and I'm going to continue on with that because I have a few visual aids that will hopefully bring that home to why that is so important. The 522 is the distance from the top of the extension triangle to the end of the crossbar of Nolans cross. Actually, all these dimensions here, and this is what's on the island, the midstone pointer and the cross stones. Nolans cross is really the only factual artifact or evidence on Oak Island that is key. It is key to the solving of this mystery. I'm telling you right now, this evidence that I'm about to show you is factual. There's no disputing it because it's mathematics. It's math. It's arithmetic. And when you find something as arbitrary as like 522, why 522? Why is 520? Why is there two? Why isn't it 520 or 525? The reason is because it is a calculated number. It is geometrically calculated by the dimensions of Nolans cross. Now, was it used in some other area of this, like the 522, 45, 522? Yeah, maybe it was. But the fact that this number shows up in Nolans cross really gives us a reason to stand up and look. Okay. This right here are the linear, and I'll talk about this today too, the linear distances that are found in this, in the Rochefoucauld map, and also at the bottom, what I call the Marie note, the bottom of La Formula. I will get into that, but let's go back. I'm going to start and show you guys the geometry and facts, okay? And I've done a little Excel slideshow, okay? For those who don't know, 522 comes from these documents. It comes from La Formula, and it comes from the more recently known document, which is the Robert D. Austin document presented by Philip Stevenson. So we know that 522 is mentioned in both these documents. And it's a very obscure dimension. But, and I've done a video on this before. If you want to watch it, it's the one I did previous. But here is a slide showing you what I did. The numbers are not perfectly exact. And I mean, when I talk about perfectly, it's, yes, 5/10,000ths off, or it's 1/100th off. And the reason why this is because we're dealing with a conversion rate from the modern foot unit to the pre-1668 French unit, which actually I have put as 327 millimeters. If you want to get exact and have your calculator draw out some infinite decimal points, The number is 326.569 millimeters. But I think they use this, and when you use this, it works out very well. If you use the other number, you get more decimal points. So as you can see, I have these color coded. I input what I knew, which was the sides here, 560. That was just measured from Google Earth. We knew this is 720. And with that input, we get an output of the distance, which we know from the headstone to the midstone pointer, which is 429. We get 428.5952. Very close, very close. And we find that when we convert what we got the output, we put in 522 into the calculator for our sides. We put in the 80 degrees, which we got from this side, and we get these numbers. I've color coded them. You can look at them. This one came out exact, the height. So these numbers here, this output of these numbers, okay, the 671, the 399, those are outputs for 522. These are pre-1668 French foot units. When you multiply 429 by today's modern units and then divide it by French pre-1668, look, you get the exact same. You get pretty close with the 720. You get within 1/10 of a foot. That's 1.2 inches. Okay. And when you convert 522, it is off 2/100ths of an inch. So what's that telling us? It's telling us 522 is the same number as 560. It's also telling us that it is a conversion from French units pre-1668 to modern units. I don't know what else to tell you. It's a fact. Nolans cross is a fact. These dimensions from the headstone to the midstone is a fact. These are facts. And Nolans cross has more of a function. And I'm going to basically touch on that. And what I want to show you next is the distances that are associated with the MFR map. This stands for Monsieur Francois Rochefoucauld. We've all seen this. These are the relative positions of the discoverable points for the Oak Island mystery that are written in French. We've done many videos on this, but what I'm going to focus on today is this is the 1347 distance and why this has a significance to Nolans cross. The next distance that I want to get into is this one. This is from the Marie note, and I'll show you guys. I have the picture up here. So this is from a book. This was sent to me by my teammate Oliver in France, and this is the La Formula. And at the bottom of La Formula is this note right here. And you can see that's where that comes from. Okay. So it's related to La Formula. And this note at the bottom has a reference. One of them is 80th. And this little E is supposed to be the th, but I think it looks like a degree symbol. Maybe that's where the degree symbol came from. It's from the French. But it shows 80, which is significant. And it has this set out in French. And it's a date, 7th of January. And this actually says 1978, but they write it out as 1960 plus 18. All those numbers add up to 1986. Okay. So we have 80 degrees mentioned, which we know is the angle of the triangle we just were looking at. And we also have another distance here. So when you take these distances and you convert them, 1347 to 1986, into these distances, that's what we get. I mean, we have to, if we're going to work on Google Earth, we have to go to our today's standard of distances. If it was done in pre-1668 French, we wouldn't have to even do this. And it would probably be more accurate. Actually, it is more accurate. But we're dealing with a conversion right here. And it's going to lend to a little tiny bit of an error. Another thing is 1347 plus 1986. When you add those together, they end up as 333. Wow. Is this coincidence or is this verification that we're onto something? Well, as much as how interesting mysticism is and numbers and all that kind of thing with different kinds of belief systems, I'm going to go with it's sort of a coincidence, maybe verification. I would rather see better verification, but I thought I'd throw this in just for you mystics. So anyway, the Nolans cross is supposed to be extended from the headstone, and I show it here. And the reason why it needs to be extended is because it matches 1347 distance. That distance from the headstone to the north anchor, okay, in our foot measure and what is measured as known, what our known measurements are from Nolans cross today is 293 plus 429. And if you double that, you end up with 1,444 feet. If you take 1347 and convert it, you get 1,445 feet. Okay. And 1,347 is the number given on the Rochefoucauld map. I just showed you that. So when you take that number and double it, it's off by 1 foot, which equates to about 6 inches per side. So this is the relevance of 1347 number. It is telling you take the midstone, extend, flip it over, so you have these two distances, and then when you get to here, this will correspond to the map of the north anchor. And here, you want me to see? So you take from the end stone to the north anchor. This distance right here is 1,445, basically, roughly, within 1 to 2 feet. Oh, you want me to show it? Probably is, let's see, 1,445 feet. That's what I have it measured. So this distance here, Nolans from the end stone to the north anchor, is the same as 1,347 converted from pre-1668 French units to today's modern units. So what does that tell us? It tells us that 1347 is a relevant number. It's relevant to Nolans cross, which is a fact of Oak Island. Okay. The other thing about these distances, the 2130 and the 1445, is that they are very close, within 1/100th of a factor, very close in proportionality, in a ratio. Right here we have the Marie note. Right up here is the 2130, which is the Marie note distance, and the Rochefoucauld map distance. And if you notice, that this is a ratio of 1.47 to 1, and the 429, which is the actual distance here, and the 293, which is the actual distance here, has a ratio of 1.46 to 1. Why is this important? I think this is a clue, because if we find out later, when we flip Nolans cross over and extend it, we're going to end up with 2 points that are from this distance. In other words, these distances will emanate from here, and on Nolans cross, well, here, let me bring this up. The blue distances, the 1445 distances, will emanate from the end stone and the north anchor. And the yellow distances, the 2130 distance, will emanate from the extension triangle. The midstone, you can try it, but it's a void discovery. There's nothing to be discovered. But the extension triangle, this distance here, so the yellow corresponds to the yellow and the blue corresponds to the blue. Just an observation, maybe a clue. All right, and here's the analysis that I did. I took the ratios of all the different ways. This is a one-to-one scale relationship. The 429 to the 293, and then the 445 to the, and I also did it in French units. This is the error, the conversion error. If you guys want to, you guys that are sort of nerdy about this, like I am, you can look at this, and I'm not going to go on and talk about it. It's just too nerdy. So anyway, this is my last slide, and I'm going to go back to Google Earth in just a second. But as you can see, the linear, this is the linear distances on Google Earth. There they are, the linear distances that show the more exact location of all these landmarks. And I'm going to be doing videos later, more videos about the reason why it's important to locate these, and why, how some of these more obscure ones, like the valve is located, the oak entrance, the triangle of Peter, and their relevance to solving this mystery. They need all to be discovered. They need all to be discovered in order to access what is on Oak Island. The oak entrance is just the start, like it says. And it says right here, the oak, enter here. So you can enter there, but also that could mean start here. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. I hope it wasn't too long and nerdy for you guys. Subscribe if you want to see what I do later. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.